no introduction. She's been at AppNexus for almost 4 years, leads sales. Most of you have either negotiated with her or wished you hadn't over the past few years. I'd like to talk about Ofer. I first met Ofer 10 years ago when he was at Vibrant Digital, the first Right Media client. And he sort of saw the beginning of the ad exchange back in those days. And a few years later, in early 2007, we were all sitting on the beach in Tel Aviv. It's beautiful by the Mediterranean. And Ofer walks up and taps me on the shoulder and says, "Come outside." Now, I don't know if this is true, but there are rumors that Ofer was in Israeli intelligence. And when you're sitting on the beach in Tel Aviv and someone says, "Let's go outside," it's a little bit intimidating. And Ofer leans in and says to me, "Brian, I'm going to build the biggest network on the Right Media platform." And I was like, OK. I was expecting something else. And to his credit, he did. And now, 6 years later, Matomy Media is one of the largest ad networks and really media holding companies in the world. And I'm so excited to have Lauren and Ofer here to talk about how to build a world-dominant ad network. All right, Ofer and Lauren.
So I don't know about you guys, this is like the best summit yet. We've got awesome hip-hop dancers. We've got my boss talking about Canadian crackheads. And now I get to talk to one of my favorite clients about not just fluffy valuations money, but actual profit, so money in your pocket. So Ofer Druker, the CEO and co-founder of Matomy Media Group. A lot of people, I don't know if you guys all work with Matomy today, but building a $200 million business without really taking very much funding at all, being profitable basically from day one is no small feat. So I want to make sure we introduce Ofer properly. But Ofer, walk me through kind of like, what is the formula? How did you start? How did you build the company to where it is today?
So basically, we started the company in 2007. And from 97, I'm in this business of online advertising. And we decided to go on the performance formula, not to charge advertisers for nothing, just per results. Meaning we don't have any setup fees, we don't have management fees, nothing. They are paying just per results, so there is no risk for them. So instead of clients, we are looking at them as basically partners. Mm-hmm. And when you are partnering with someone and your goals and your ambitions are aligned, you are talking to each other. They share with you their ambitions, their challenges, what they are trying to achieve, what they are trying to build. And we understood very quickly that we need to build a multi-channel approach. Why is that? Because in the end of the day, when you're looking what these clients or partners are looking for, they are looking in performance for four main things. They are looking for quality consumers that will come to their system, buy their services or products. They need it in scale. They need to get it in speed, so they can't wait now for months until the campaign will generate results, in a sense. And the last piece is simplicity. And there are a lot of companies here in the room, and I'm sure outside, that are offering a lot of services to big advertisers or big companies that are trying to get distribution and so forth and so on. And they are, in a sense, when they look on all this ecosystem, they are getting dizzy because there are so many companies out there that are offering these products. And in the end of the day, they have a very small team of people that can manage this team. So we start putting down all these multi-channels. We built a few companies. We acquired, and I will touch it later, we acquired a few companies in order to build the full solution. And this full solution, in the end of the day, was coming for market need. If you want scale and you want to have all these points that I said before, you need to be able to touch your consumer in everywhere they are working or being, meaning not just in desktop, they can be in mobile, watching video, getting emails, and so on. So we built this multi-channel approach. And in the last 7 years, we were building these capabilities step by step. And in the last year, we even accelerated the building of this concept. And I think it's working. And the other thing that it gave us is effectiveness. We are basically running our business with a relatively small number of salespeople because we are able to offer our clients a very wide range of products. So when we have an opportunity to work with them, we can put our step in the door very quickly, offer them one of our services, work with them in order to increase them and work with them across channel and generate more revenues with them. And we see that our clients are staying with us for many, many years. And the last point is, I think, competitive edge. All this approach of multi-channel is giving us a competitive edge. When you're looking on the markets, there are a lot of giants that are, of course, in some areas are more interesting than most of the people that are driving ad networks, which are independent and so on. But when you are able to offer this cross-channel in a simple way, you are getting an advantage for you versus these giants that can't do that in such a simple way and such a straightforward way. So I think that it serves the market need, a competitive advantage, and also effectiveness for us.
Sure. I think, so as I talked before about sort of like fluffy valuations and real profit versus kind of fluffy top-line revenue, the other things I also think about is just sort of how people think about liquidity events. So, do I IPO as a company? Do I think about like packaging myself for an acquisition? Very few people, I feel like sometimes, talk about just building a long-term sustainable business and sort of the importance around that. I think with that gets coupled like what is innovation. So a lot of companies I talk to feel like, I need to build everything, I need to own everything. Talk to me a little bit about sort of how you think about innovation and sort of where are areas that people should or shouldn't be investing and how that impacts the long-term profitability of your business.
Okay. So first of all, when you're building a multi-channel business, it's coming very, very open or very straight that you can't do everything.
Sure.
You have to do two things, basically. You need to rely on partners that will provide you some of the solution in order to package it to your clients. And the other thing that you need to do a merger and acquisition in order to add the missing parts, in a sense, to your package. And on that front of merger and acquisitions, we made like a very simple rule in what type of companies we want to acquire in order to connect them to our ecosystem. And it can be designated as, in a sense, as in 4 C's. C number 1 is if you want to get into a country, and it's very hard for you to build your business from day one there. For example, the US. For us, from Israel, it's very hard to build it. We can send 2 people in an airplane and open an office. It doesn't mean that we have an activity in the US. So in the beginning of the year, we acquired MediaWiz, which is a leading performance company in the US market. The second thing is clients. You want to get more reach. You want to get more clients. So we acquired a few companies based on that. And another thing is media channels, channel of media, and capabilities of technologies. Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we also announced another acquisition that we made, which related to a company that is running campaigns, again, based on performance on Facebook. And the other thing, when we are talking about partnership, and this is, I think, the most important element, is about choosing the right partner in order to work with them. And it shouldn't be just technology partners. It can be also a lot of business partners. And we have 5 business partners that are working for me from '99 until today. If I'm changing my business card, they still come and work with me. It doesn't mean that I stop working with them in a sense. And when I'm looking on AppNexus, for example, for that reason, we chose to work with them because of a few elements. And this is relying to what you said about liquidity.
Sure.
Because people think about innovation, they think only about technology most of the time. I'm not underestimating technology, but I think that when you're running on such a broad front against so many competitors, in a sense, you can't build everything. You can't be up to speed in every front, because if you do, you need to be one of the giants. You need to have a lot of money. And in our size, of course, you will lose a lot of money, and nobody will sponsor you to do that in order to compete with the bigger guys. So in a sense, you need to innovation. Innovation is not just about technology. To my opinion, it has a lot of forms, a lot of colors. And for me, innovation is also to be flexible in order to connect off-the-shelf products to like a Lego, to connect them to a different solution every time that you need them in a smart way in order to be able to compete in this marketplace. And when I'm looking on AppNexus is enable us to do that, because on top of the fact that they are like it's a great product, a great technology that is being developed by so many people that are thinking on all the small details of this purpose. The second thing is, of course, it's a marketplace. And for us that is running on performance level, we need, of course, to reach a lot of users. We need to reach a lot of impressions. So when you're working with AppNexus, you are gaining also an access to such a big volume of media. And the third point is I think that AppNexus is enabling us to have our flavor, to develop above the system, to have our tweak in a sense, but not to deal with what I called in our company the basics or the basic infrastructure that we cannot compete with a company like AppNexus. And the fourth point is I think that it's about values. When you are partnering with someone or acquiring someone, it doesn't matter. We have to see that we are sharing the same values. And when I'm looking on AppNexus and from my experience with AppNexus in the past few years and with Brian, like he said, for many, many years, in a sense, what I like about this company is the culture that, yes, we can. It's not that let us think about it. It's take you like 1 year, and then they are getting an email that you don't remember that you sent with an answer that maybe we'll do that in the fourth quarter of I don't know which year. But things are done, and there is like a slogan there, to my opinion, that they dare. They dare to do things that other people don't do, and because of that, I feel that you are winning. So that's the reason that we like to work with companies like that. Now, there is like a sense in this marketplace, and I'm many years in this marketplace, that only big companies or you need to build something very special or something very unique in order to have a liquidity event. To my opinion, it was true like 10 years ago when people said, this company is dealing with the internet, let's buy them, or 15 years ago. Today, it's not the case. I think that there is a lot of companies out there that are looking to buy, to acquire companies which are real businesses that can show that they are growing, they are profitable, and they have a good chance to keep growing in the future. And of course, if they have a track record, it's great. They should have a track record in order to be sold. Nobody will buy a company that in the first year or second year is, in this business, is making like a growth. So I think that the market is changed. And also I think from my experience, I can't say that I'm an expert on the market exchanges and so on the stock markets and so on, but I feel that also there is a lot of colors right now. You have, of course, markets like NASDAQ that are looking for exciting technologies, but you have other markets that they are looking on companies that can grow, that can show growth, as I said before, that are profitable or have a good chance to be profitable, and they can maintain they can be compatible in the future, meaning they can be competitive, in the future. And these markets are there. So I think that if you are building a real business, you have a good chance to have a liquidity event to be acquired by another company that is looking for the piece that is missing, like our company that is looking all the time for buying more and more assets. Or if you will grow big enough, you can go to one of the stock markets which are not just NASDAQ. NASDAQ is, you need different type of companies in order to get in this stage. And I think that it's less fit for an ad network in this stage, unless you invested so much money in building something unique just for that. That's my 2 cents.
I think even though, Matomy runs a global business, there's 10 different channels, so search, affiliate, RTB, mobile, video. There's so many different channels that you guys work in today. There is one underlying thread which ties your entire business together, which is performance. I'd love to kind of just get a sense from you in terms of how you've really invested in performance and aligned that with how you really make money from your end clients to also build a very successful business and one that public markets and beyond can kind of easily understand.
Again, I think that from my experience in the past year or so, when we are talking to bankers and we are talking to this, we get into a size that more people are approaching us in this sense, is that first of all, we are making our revenues just from performance, meaning it can be a lead or a sale or install or something which is related to of course, of a performance, something that you can measure. We are not selling almost any branded campaigns. We are not in a position to do that. We are not offering it usually to clients. So we are making money only from leads, sales, or installs. That's our revenue. We are not taking we have also a big affiliate network. I think that one of the biggest currently on the direct response. And in this business, we took a decision. There are a lot of types of affiliate networks. Some of them tell you, listen, you can launch your campaign on our system, It's great. There is a setup fee of a few $1,000s, and then you have a management fee of a few $1,000s a month, and so on. And then in the end of the day, before even you got your first lead or sale, you pay a lot of money to them, which is good for them. And then you have creatives and so on, that is additional countries, additional channel, everything is cost money. We took a decision not to touch it. So we are basically trying to work only with clients that we can drive to them results. We are not charging them any of the setup fee and management fee and creative fee, nothing. Just pay results. And when you're doing that, as I said before, your targets are aligned, they are coming to you, they like to work with you, you have a long-term relationship with them. And usually the churn rate of these clients is very low. Mm-hmm. And even in a sense, in revenue is positive.
Sure. I think, Matomy's also built a very successful mobile business. And I think there's sort of a misnomer now in mobile where performance in mobile equals, standard cost per install, basically a lot of app-based clients. And I think one thing that you guys done, which is really interesting, is take a lot of traditional web-based display performance budget and sort of seamlessly translate it cross-channel. Yeah. And for a lot of the advertisers that you guys work with, they don't care if they're getting in front of that user necessarily on their mobile device or their iPad or web-based display, whatever that is. Like, talk to me about how you're engaging with a lot of advertisers today to sort of open up what that share of wallet is now for mobile.
Okay. So first of all, we did about 2 years ago a big organizational change, and we connected basically all the different companies that we had into one company, which called Matomy, of course. And we have one client relationship team that is working with the advertiser. And when you have one team that is working with the advertiser, you can offer them the full range of services that we got. By doing that, of course, when someone is working with us and we feel that can be a match also to move to mobile, we are doing that. Mm-hmm. Another thing that in the beginning, I made a mistake and I built like a team that is dealing only with mobile. And the rest of the team were dealing with the other stuff. But after 6 months or 9 months, when one of a relatively young person in our company told me, Ofer, you are making a mistake. Mobile is everywhere. So you need to cancel this specific unit that deals only with mobile, and you need to move all across and to give it like a mirror to all the activities that you're doing in any other activities. And we did it. We changed. We called it mobile everywhere. So every unit, the affiliate unit is managing also their mobile activity. The virtual currency is dealing with also with the mobile activity. The display, again, we now have just a team that is doing media buying on mobile, which is a little bit different than display. But all the rest of the activities, sales and so on, is one. Sure. When you're doing that, also the clients don't see that as a challenge. They come to you. If their offer can match a mobile, we push them also to mobile. We offer them to run on mobile. And again, if they have no risk, they have no problem to test it. And we are testing it with them. I think that in mobile, I think that all the time there are discussions about when the mobile will be big. And I remember, as I said, I'm a little bit old in that realm that in 2001 and 2002 already people were talking about the mobile is here, the mobile will be big. I'm not saying that it's not true, but I'm saying that right now when we are looking on performance level, when we are looking on the mobile advertising, I think that only a few advertisers knows how to really work in the mobile environment on performance level.
Sure.
And most of the others still are trying. It will happen. It takes time. Even on the desktop, there are only a few categories and a few players that really know how to use this platform in order to generate high volumes and so on. And it's now moving to the performance. And if we are talking about the other points that you touched about installs and so on, and cost per install that we are looking at, I think that when you're looking on this business of mobile, there are always pioneers that are coming into this industry and are using the fact that they are the first one in order to use it and to get the advantage of that. You saw it on the web, you saw it on social, on Facebook, you saw all the games that came in like Zynga and Playfish and so on that were with us and with others, were big marketers there, spending a lot of money, getting market share and so on, and they learn how to do that. And I think that there are a few that are doing it already on mobile, but it will get bigger and bigger over the time, and in the next, I think, 3 or 4 years, it will become like the main course of things that also on the mobile we'll see a lot of performance happening.
I completely agree. I mean, we see it today even at AppNexus, a lot more performance-based budgets are becoming fluid cross-channel. So Thank you, and I hope that, at least from today, mainly what you guys glean from this is that, be thoughtful about what you choose to acquire versus partner versus develop in-house. Innovation is not just technology and kind of thinking outside the box, and I really do believe, probably more than anything, that your approach of this multi-channel kind of portfolio approach to your business, which if you look at all the bigs, so to speak, that's how they position their businesses, is a very defensible business long term. So regardless of what outcome you guys have as a liquidity event, I commend you guys for all the great work you've done and being a great partner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.